24, trayéndole las noticias de las 6.
Está el reporte local de los 5 días de la semana. El lunes vamos a estar a 45 grados. Martes vamos a estar a 60 grados. Miércoles vamos a estar a 40 grados. Jueves vamos a estar a 50 grados. Y viernes vamos a estar a 55 grados.
Gracias, Canica. Y aquí está Megan con el reporte del tiempo nacional.
Aquí en Estados Unidos hay poco viento desde Washington hasta Texas. Mucho viento en Arkansas y México. Hay otro poco de viento desde Carolina del Norte a Florida.
Aquí estoy con las noticias de la inundación en Lima, Perú. Estas 6 centímetros de agua desde las pasadas 24 horas ha habido mucha destrucción a muchas casas y personas, y vamos con otras noticias de la inundación.
Una noticia trágica acaba de pasar. El famoso hombre del Congreso Michael Kennedy fue asesinado en un accidente en avión pasó en Colorado, y más adelante tenemos más información.
Perfect.
Plants? History. If you go back a few thousand years, any book on ancient Egyptian history, or Greek, Babylonian, or Chinese history, you'll find that it will tell you that they all believed in the plant for its healing powers. The medicine of ancient Greece had to do with plants totally. It's spoken of in the Bible, the Koran, all the great religious books, that God has given us all that we need in the plant for sustenance, health, and well-being.
One night I was working hard to solve my last problem on the formulation, and I got very, very tired, went home, fell asleep, and had a very vivid dream. And in that dream I really found the key to this formulation. I rushed next day to the lab, and sure enough, I had it.
This is a phenomenon that has happened many times before, often with astounding results. The formula for benzene, for example, came to a scientist in his sleep after long hours of work and exhaustion on the subject. The reason? The mind works like a computer, and when you sleep, the computer doesn't stop. It continues to function. The mind, crammed with knowledge and study, can give you the answer in the quiet of your sleep, and that's exactly what happened to Dr. Urak.
It was preceded by long hours, weeks, and months of hard work. And then it was just extension of my efforts in this formulation. But the final points came in my dream clearly.
The result was an astounding formula that gave Dr. Urak what he needed to continue the sport he loved so much, mountain climbing. The work on this formulation became the subject of his thesis for his doctorate in agrobiology. And upon presentation of the material to a 26-member board of scientists, he was awarded a doctorate with honors for a formula that is now known as Mattol's KM product. His mind not working in a commercial way, Dr. Urak never considered the idea of merchandising his product. So, for the next 60 years, he shared it only with family and friends, never charging anyone.
I feel that this is a product that is exceedingly good for people at large. I've given it away for a long time, and of course I don't feel at all commercial about it.
His formula, however, had for years brought praise and appreciative remarks from those he shared it with. But in 1962, Carl had decided to retire and stop making the formula. His son Anthony, however, elected to pick it up and follow in his father's tradition. For he had followed his father in tradition before, earning a PhD himself in biochemistry, entering the same profession. And he bore another trait of his father, that of youthful appearance. At age 83, Carl certainly didn't look his age, or act it for that matter. In his 80s, he was still swimming. And Anthony, at 49, didn't quite look his age either. Some felt it was in their genes. Others felt it was in the formula. One thing was certain. The many friends of the Yurak family couldn't get their hands on enough of the product that Carl had formulated many years ago. Then destiny stepped in. It was here, at this location in St. Adèle, Canada, that Robert Bolduc was introduced to the product. Anthony, a longtime friend, gave him some of the product. It was the morning after he had attended a large party, and he wasn't feeling quite his best. The result amazed Robert, and he then joined the others in becoming an enthusiastic supporter.
It was here in 1982 in this kitchen that the past really caught up to the present. Anthony that morning offered me the product. I started using it, and it's probably the beginning of what is known today as the Mattol movement.
In 1984, having studied a marketing research report that identified the nutrition and network marketing industries as explosive growth industries, he decided to approach Anthony about commercializing the product. Anthony found the idea interesting and agreed to join Robert. And for the next 6 months, they planned for what was to become Mattol Botanical International. At the age of 47, Anthony had become financially secure. He was thinking in terms of retirement and was starting a family. The last thing he needed was to be burdened with the pressures of a new business. However, he too, when given the opportunity, wanted to share his father's discovery with the public.
There is nothing like looking into someone's eyes when they tell you the product is good. You know it. You know by the look in their eyes.
It was here, on October 22nd, 1984, that Mattol Botanical International's first meeting was held, to a standing room only audience of 4 people. But in spite of that humble beginning, Mattol Botanical became an almost overnight success. For the next 2 years in Canada, the company enjoyed absolutely phenomenal growth. The product by this time had become known from coast to coast in Canada due to the results people experienced using the product. However, the time had come for it to be made available to the U.S. market, and Robert and Anthony knew they lacked the experience necessary to tackle that market alone. Here in Palm Beach, Florida, far to the south and another country away, they'd heard of a man by the name of Sam Kalaniuk, a multi-level marketing expert. He'd been referred to them by a number of people who knew of his reputation.
Okay, Jeremy, you got it?
Yeah.
In contacting him, their hopes were high that he would see the potential of their product and enjoy the same enthusiasm that they did.
Both Anthony and I, when we met Sam, realized that he had the kind of depth that we needed and that was essential to the kind of growth that we were looking forward to.
Once I had an opportunity to try the product and then investigated what other people had experienced on the product in addition to my own experience, I had to be a part of it.
We knew Sam was the right man for the company. We just had to introduce him to the product.
When I was exposed to the results of the product and found the company had broke all records in 2 years in Canada, there was no doubt in my mind what it would do once it was released to the U.S. market.
So Sam joined forces with them, and together they introduced Mattol's KM product to the United States. And the timing couldn't have been better.
The timing is right for our product. People are finally taking serious responsibility for their own health. Nutritional awareness is at an all-time high.
Health food stores are everywhere. They even have health food sections in supermarkets, whereas just a few years ago, they were non-existent. Why? A mountain of evidence has been brought to the fore that health problems have a great deal to do with the food we eat. At the turn of the century, the quality of food was much better. We lived close to the farm. We lived in small communities. We ate what grew outside our door, not shipped from another part of the world and picked before it was ripe. before nature was finished with it. Most of the foods shipped today contain preservatives. They're not kept fresh by the quick freezing process that Carl pioneered to hold nutritional value in. Preservatives have been linked to cancer and other health problems. Toxins filling the air. Our water being polluted. Heart disease, degenerative diseases. All of these things have brought to public awareness the need for us all to become more health conscious. The reason you're seeing more health food stores these days is because there's a demand for them. The demand has been created by awareness. People have reached a point where they're saying, I'm going to take charge of my own body. So now we have Mattol's KM product. Why wasn't it introduced before? Because of Carl's reluctance to commercialize it, and because the time wasn't right. Now it's right, just like the timing for multi-level is right.
Never before in multi-level history has it been as receptive as it is right now. The timing's absolutely perfect. Now we see billion-dollar corporations getting involved in this industry, and the reason? It's the best form of selling. It's selling by satisfied consumers.
The Harvard School of Business says networking is the way to market in the future. Major telephone companies are now into multi-level. Computer manufacturing firms are into multi-level as well. Health and fitness is into multi-level, and the time is ripe for Mattol Botanical. This method of marketing has tremendous advantages. There's no better person to tell you about a product than a satisfied customer. That's the best form of advertising.
Some people feel that our product is an overnight success. Well, it's an overnight success that was 60 years in the making.
We try to put our heads together why Mattol acts as it does, and no one can come up with an answer except that we feel that it has to do something with the blood, and through the purification, oxygenation, and so on, it produces results which are sometimes completely out of the ordinary.
I look at all these people using our product, and it's the reason why it was kept alive for 60 years.
I think it's a fact that Mattol is a universal product, and that basically is the most important feature for most people using it.
I want this product to stay as it is for all times.
It's the biggest challenge I've ever come face to face with. The product, it has me totally in awe. For many, it'll be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of something this big. An opportunity to share in a significant impact on world health. And I'm excited for those whose circumstances allow them to have a major share in what will happen. Their rewards will be great. For me, I feel proud just to be a part of it.
Mattol Botanical, some feel, is a strong strain of humanity wrapped around destiny and universal timing. The story of Carl Jurak and his formula is a unique one. His strong love of humanity and his lifelong study of plants led to a discovery that is only today being shared with the public.
For a lifetime, it has helped me and my family and friends. In 60 years, given time, I have never seen this product fail once in helping do some good for the people using it.